Empire at War, the remake mod, is hands down one of the most visually impressive mods out for the classic RTS. I've already done some comparison videos to the base units in the mod versus the original game from way back when, just to put things into perspective how truly high this mod is aiming. But, as many of you have pointed out, I've avoided the biggest of the badasses that this mod has to offer: super capitals. So in today's quick video, we're gonna be looking at the super caps currently available in skirmish mode for the Rebels, the Empire, and the capital special stations on some maps where you can build some crazy stuff. Let's get into it. Nothing beats the first time we see the Rebel fleet all together. This isn't a couple of fighter squadrons at the Battle of Yavin. This is the proper Rebel fleet, taking the fight to the Empire's new death machine. The fleet's command ship is the heavily modified MC-80A Star Cruiser Home 1. Under the command of Admiral Akbar, which is exactly what we see in the mod. In-game, it's just as tanky as you'd expect, with those overloaded shields that make it a great brawler, as long as the enemy isn't packing any kind of heavy ordnance that can punch through its defenses. The Rebels also somehow get their hands on a Executor-class supercarrier, also known as the Battle Carrier. Not sure how the Rebels got one of these, but man, is it cool. Empire also gets one of these in its fleets, so you can build it for both factions. I love these animated turrets all turning in sync, and its absolute absurd number of fighter squadrons this thing can field. Dropping into combat, it performed as you'd expect. Decent covering fire for its squadrons coming from the top deck, but if it gets into a shooting match with anything that's got a little bit of weight and heft to it, it's gonna start losing subsystems fast. In other words, don't toss your carrier to the front lines. Simple. The Empire and the Rebels also get the next ship, the Bellator. This thing is 7,200 meters of Republic and later Imperial U strapped to a giant propulsion system. This is the start of our list for the Dreadnought class Super Star Destroyer line. I dropped this thing on top of an incoming Imperial battle group and just sat back and watched the show. This thing looks amazing with its missile launchers on both sides and heavy cannons just festooned across the top. But let's get into the Imperial-only super capo ships. This thing is 19,000 meters long. It doesn't just have cannons that shoot across the map, it is the map. This thing sums up the Empire's view on ship design philosophy. Can we make it a triangle? Can we make it bigger? Okay, how about a little bit bigger? How about a little bit bigger, and let's put down maybe 5 or 6 times the cannons. There, perfect. In the lore, this thing is a fleet all on its own, ready to invade a full planet or let loose a storm of death from its silly amounts of cannons. This is the only vessel known to be able to contain the dark side awesomeness that was Darth Vader, who used it as a flagship. Dropping this thing into the match, mind you, it takes literally 100% of your build cap, meaning you have to throw everything else you've got against the wall before you'll be allowed to drop this in. And it clears the field of every hostile larger than the size of a starfighter. Moments later, the uncalculable number of fighter wings that it launches will make a Executor question its life choices start to pop out. This ship in the remake mod doesn't just live up to the hype.
Do you really believe your own hype that much? I am the hype!
Lastly, and my favorite, and let's be honest here, this isn't even a super capital, I just love it, and it's my video, and I do what I want, the Assault Core 443. Basically, the mod author was like, you know what's cool? Venator's. You know what's even cooler?
More Venators! So many Venators! Venators here, Venators there, let's watch them keep Merc fighters, maybe a couple of V-Wings. It's obviously the best ship, and we need more of them.
Yeah, it's an entire battle group. You can't build these with any of the normal factions. You have to actually capture the space stations that are littered on some of the maps. But if you can capture one and you manage to save up enough resources and you have the build cap open, you can drop an entire battle group from the Republic into your match and win. I'm not really sure who would win here, the Assault Core 443 or the Executor, and I'd love to try just to find out, because there are so many fighters that come out of these battleship carriers that are the Venators versus that mess. Let me know in the comments if you think who would win that fight. This is it. I finally did it. These are the super capitals that are currently on the skirmish mode. There are a lot more that I know the mod author is working on. He's done a few videos over on his channel. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to see what he's got cooking. I know there are more on the Conquest map, but I'm holding back until he does his first run of ground combat for Conquest, because I want to do a campaign on that, but he hasn't touched the ground battles yet. Once he does, though, and he's been talking about a lot of really cool features and functionality of how he's going to redesign ground battles, we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited. Anyways, let me know in the comments, who do you think would win? Executor or an entire battle group of Venators? Obviously it's Venators, and if you say it's not, then you're probably wrong. I look forward to reading the comments though. See you guys in the next one. Later, everybody.